So thinking that I drugged you, you were still inviting me back over, thinking that I drugged you and that you
She
were.
has answered that question, Mr. Gonzalez. I mean, she said yes.
Okay. That's it. That's just what I wanted to know.
All right, stand by. I got to call this calendar. Stand by. All right, if you're here for the 11 o'clock calendar, turn your camera on and stay on mute. If you're here for the 11 o'clock calendar, turn your camera on and stay on mute. If you are here for the 11 o'clock calendar, turn your camera on. That means Julie. And I don't see a single one of them turning on.
Excuse me, Your Honor, the
Turn
host
your
has
camera on
disabled
and
our
stay
video.
on mute. Turn your camera on and stay on mute. Camera's on, stay on mute. Camera's on and stay on mute. Camera's on. If your camera's not on, we will reset your case and you will come here in person. If you cannot follow instructions and turn your camera on. Nobody's turned off anybody's camera. Turn your cameras on. Turn your cameras on.
Your Honor, there's a couple comments in the chat
Yeah,
that the
I
host
see it,
is
but
cut off.
nobody's, yeah, everybody else is popping theirs on. They just don't know how to hit the little button. Turn your cameras on. All right, Julie Alberger.
Hey, Judge,
Yes.
this is Candace McCowan. I cannot get I have a message here saying you cannot start your video because the host is, okay, here we go. Here it is. I'm starting it.
Nobody stopped the camera.
Okay, it just
Julie
turned on.
Alberger. Julie Alberger. Michael Biddle. She's late. I let her in. Where is Michael that's supposed to have the compliance, right, Ms. Delabrado?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Clark, sit up straight. Julie. Have you heard from Mr. Biddle?
I have not.
Ms. Delabrado, what does Judge Cooper want us to do?
He asked that it be reset.
Okay. So does Ms. Alberger need to come back or does it just need to be Mr. Biddle? Alberger, you don't need to come back. It'll be reset, just Mr. Biddle, because he has to show that he's in compliance.
Okay, thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you, ma'am. Stay healthy and safe. Happy New Year. Aldo Rivera. Aldo Rivera. Demario Lowe. Demario Lowe.
I'm here, Judge.
All right, Mr. Lowe, has it been served? So and it's about to expire. You're going to have to refile. Okay?
I have to refile, you said?
Sir, it's expired.
Hmm.
All right, thank you. Victoria Horn.
Here, Judge.
All right. Jermaine Yee, looks like Mr. Yee is showing up. You still want to go forward, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hey, he's there, so we'll let him hold on a second. Oh, and his comes on. We'll let hold on for a second. So who else? Is there anyone else here? I didn't call your name that has a case. Has a case, not a witness, has a case.
Last name Muhammad, Your Honor. If you had already announced, I apologize. I was looking for my documents that Judge Cooper had asked me to bring. I submit.
I don't see that name on here.
Yes, Judge,
last
I'm
name.
searching for the case number.
Yeah,
Or it might be last name Dennis. Other party's last name is Dennis and maybe under his last name.
Yes, Judge. It is scheduled today for a compliance on the respondent's drug and alcohol.
So, but it's not on here. So who's the respondent? Mr. Mohammed?
Right. He is the respondent. I can give, I'll send you the case number.
Okay, wait a minute. Mr. Mohammed is the respondent. Hold on. Mr. Mohammed is the respondent. Mr. Mohammed, do you have proof of doing that drug and alcohol stuff?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you send it? Can you, thank you. About Skylar Dennis?
He's the
Yes.
petitioner.
Yes, ma'am.
That's
No,
correct.
Okay,
Glenn Cooper told me to come last meeting, and he has also violated the TPO since it was
okay,
signed.
so you're gonna have to file a contempt for that. So there's
Okay.
nothing that there's nothing I can do. File a contempt. And, Mr. Mohammed, send your proof of compliance to Mr. Elabrato. She'll put an email in the chat. Mr. Dennis, if you file a contempt, we'll get you
Yes,
on the
ma'am.
Okay, where would I go to file that consent?
at the courthouse.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. All right, let's see, Mr. Yee, stand by. We'll get back to you in just a second. All right, we're gonna go back to this other case really quickly. So Ms. Steele, Ms. Willis, I'll get back with you as soon as I finish this. I think we're wrapping up. Anything else, Mr. Gonzalez or Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes, can I ask something else? Is that
You have a
possible?
question?
I did have one more question for Miss Etheridge or Gonzalez, if that's possible.
Okay, ask the question.
So on the 24th, when you brought me a birthday card and birthday presents.
No, just a question, not a whole bunch
Were you
of
afraid
back.
of, that was after the amphetamine incident. Were you afraid of me then? And why were you not afraid to drop it off at my house?
Whoa, compound question.
Okay, so
In May, when you brought him a card, were you afraid of him?
now in November 24th,
November, were you afraid of him?
after November 24th, but dated November 24th, sorry.
Dear God, in November, were you afraid of him when you brought him a card?
So before I filed a TPO, I attempted
Yes
for
or
him.
no? And then an explanation.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Next,
Thank
Mr. Gonzalez.
Also, did you have Bella write a birthday card for me as well and drop that off?
We were trying to get you to go to rehab.
Yes or no? Did you have your daughter write a birthday card?
Daddy, I was, and were you also?
Mr. Gonzalez.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't have anything else. I just wanted to know why she would drop that off after if she was afraid of it.
Mr. Gonzalez, no commentary. Anything else, Mr. Gonzalez?
That's it. Thank you, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
All right, any follow-up, Mr. Dwoskin?
Your Honor, very, very quickly. Ms. Gonzalez, this photograph, when was this photograph taken?
That photograph was taken on October 24th.
And what does this photograph show?
Busted lip.
How did you, is this you?
Yes, it is.
How'd you bust your lip?
That was when Maurice came in unannounced, but while our kids were in school, and he asked me in his pipe earlier. And then he, in retaliation, started talking about infidelity and stuff, and things got physical, and he did that and attacked me.
Okay, did he initiate?
Yes,
Okay, and then this, what's in this photograph?
that is what I found in his pipe.
Okay, so when you were testifying before, that's what you're referring to?
Yes,
Okay, and that pipe belongs to him?
yes, it does.
Ms. Gonzalez, that's allegedly what he said was pocket fuzz, or what did he say?
Correct.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Gonzalez?
Yeah, so after finding those things, you were afraid or you were not afraid? I'm sorry, because you came by after that. So I'm confused. Were you afraid after that? Was that?
Ms. Gonzalez, were you afraid after you found the pipe?
Yeah, I was afraid.
Okay, next
Were you
question. Anything else, Mr. Gonzalez?
So you were afraid, but you still dropped off those things at my house.
We got that. She still dropped it off. And there was a card from your daughter. We got that.
That's it.
Take notes.
Thank you.
I got it. I promise. I'm writing down a lot of notes.
Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Gonzalez?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Gonzalez, Mr. Dwoskin.
Nothing further as evidence, Your Honor.
All right, closing. Mr. Gonzalez, closing. What are you asking the court for?
I'm asking that I just be granted relief from the manipulation, the scare tactics, the fear that I feel for my life, for my safety, that I just be given a chance to live my life peacefully.
All right, Mr. Dwoskin.
Your Honor, we're going to ask that the petition filed by Mr. Gonzalez be dismissed. There's no threat to Mr. Gonzalez from Mrs. Gonzalez. We are going to ask that the court grant our counter petition and grant an order against Mr. Gonzalez. We asked the court for reimbursement of the $348.55 that Ms. Gonzalez had to pay for the window, as well as attorney's fees at $300 an hour. And so at the moment, I think we're at $2,200, as well as some provision for child support. I know that Mr. Gonzalez said he hired a divorce attorney. I know that Mrs. Gonzalez is consulting with a divorce attorney, and that'll be underway. But for the moment, she has these children and is the only financial provider for them.
So do you have a worksheet, or do you know what the worksheet's going to show up to be?
Your Honor, I can show the worksheet from the parenting plan. The
That was
only
just one child, right?
it was one child, and I'll show Your Honor, but I will say that there was this was
So tell me this, what's Ms. Gonzalez, what do you pay for rent or mortgage or what have you, where you and the child live?
I pay $23.50.
And what was the other child support worksheet, Mr. Waskin? What was the number it came up to with one?
it is going down to the
Line
final
13.
sheet. I apologize, Your Honor. I do not do much family law.
I
It
think
looks
it's
like
line 13.
no 13. There we go.
Boy, that's the one thing I know.
It says 257. Final monthly child support amount rounded to a whole number. Is that what we're referring to?
Right.
It was $257 for Mr. Gonzalez, $406 for Mrs.
That was
Gonzalez.
back in 2018.
Correct.
Ms. Gonzalez, how much do you make gross a month?
How much and what?
Gross. What is your gross monthly income?
About 7,000.
Okay. What is yours, Mr. Gonzalez?
About 3,000.
What do you do that you only make 3,000?
I cut hair. I moved when Amber forced me to leave and move to a different
I
salon.
didn't. I'm just curious. What? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ms. Gonzalez, is there daycare for the children?
Yes, I pay about $400 for Bella and aftercare a month, and I pay $21.50 for my son a month. Oh, I'm sorry, $13.50 for my son.
Calculator out here. It's like Ms. Free took my calculator, Ms. Delbrado.
I'll search for one, Judge.
No, I got.
You found it?
No, I got this little. I got this janky one. Let me try this janky one here.
Okay.
So you got $150 a month. For one
13.
child.
$13.50.
$13.50, and
Uh-huh.
$400 for the other child.
Yes,
I mean, okay. And that is monthly, right?
correct.
All right, so Mr. Dwoskin, first we'll split the childcare in half, so that's gonna be $875 a month.
Okay.
And then it was. So, I'm trying to think, I'm trying to do it in my head, I don't have my login for my worksheet. We'll make his child support $400 a month. Somebody can do the actual worksheet. So $400 a month, and then $875 is his portion of childcare. I just split it in half. Ms. Delbrado, Mr. Waskin, I think maybe Ms. Delbrado is going to ask if you'll do the work, do the order. She can send it to you in Word.
Okay. If she'll provide it, I will. I'll try and work one up. Like I said, I
Okay.
don't practice family law, but I'll.
Well, I mean, you just put those numbers, because I mean, in the order, it's self-explanatory, but just to do the TPO order, because I'm granting hers, Mr. Gonzalez, I'm denying yours. Here's where you'll get peace, Mr. Gonzalez, leave her alone, stay away from her. What kind of visits do you want with the children, Mr. Gloskin?
Your Honor, she would be willing to make third-party arrangements.
Okay, third party, and what, is it every other weekend? What is he gonna get? I mean, I know you have a 30-day that you can coming up on.
Yes, Your Honor, we can make that work.
All right, third party, and communicate through our family wizard.
Okay.
Who will the third party be? Maybe Mrs. Gonzalez.
I'd be okay with it being his parents.
Okay, so why don't we leave it till then that you can reach out to his parents, Ms. Gonzalez, arrange something. Is it typically a weekend that you give him or a day? What is it?
In the parenting plan, I requested that he pass a drug screening within 24 hours as well when he
Stand
gets.
by. So that parenting plan is for one child. Is that
Okay.
what you want for both children? Still, you want that parenting plan?
Yes, please.
So, Mr. Brodsky, if you just want to attach that kind of as an exhibit and say, they'll whoever Ms. Gonzalez has, and the child support along with the daycare, that's due on the 15th of each month, since it's the 11th. We'll go ahead and make it due on the 15th of each month. Is how do you want to get the money?
Zelle is okay with me.
Okay. Via Zelle, 15th of each and every month, and on, how about on January the 30th, you could pay the $348.55 in fees for the repair of the window and attorney's fees, $2,200. All right, starting February the 1st, you can pay, Mr. Blaskin, you put on there, he can make $500 monthly payments. Obviously, it's $2,200, so one will be, what, 4? So he can make those until it's paid off in full, and you can pay that directly to Mr. Dwoskin's firm, Mr. Gonzalez. And the Family Violence Intervention Program. But you can, he can start that in 60 days. We'll, you just send it to us. We'll put the stuff on there about the FVIP class, Mr. Dwoskin. He can start that in 60 days, Ms. Delbrado. Want to hear it. All right. Guess Mr. Gonzalez wasn't happy. I'm assuming he wasn't happy. We have his email address, Ms. Delbrado.
No, Judge.
We don't have Mr. Gonzalez. He's the petitioner.
Oh, yes, sorry.
All right, we have his email address. Well, you just have to send him a copy of the order since he was not happy with me and he decided to leave.
Mhm.
He's still gonna owe that money. And Mr. Kowalski, if you just put in there how you $500 a month, break down your payments and how to pay them to your firm.
Thank you, Your Honor, and I also want to thank you, Miss Steele. Miss Steele's offered to just assist me with this order. I guess I look as terrified as I feel. So
She may be used to, we're real short-handed right now. All right, thank you so much. And like I said, once we get it and sign it, we'll just email it to Mr. Gonzalez and see.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Dworsky, if you want to put your email in the chat for Ms. Delbrado, she can send it to you just to make sure we have it.
Will do. I think she's
All
got it.
right, thank you. Thank you,
I
Ms.
got it. Thank
Gonzalez. Happy New Year to both of you. Stay healthy and safe. All right, Ms. Steele and
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Willis, we got to hurry up and get Ms. Steele off because she's got to help Mr. Waskin with that order.
Take care, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
We're having trouble coming to an agreement on any sort of temporary parenting time. I know it's not explicitly put forth in the ex parte order on a schedule, but it does say that they should share physical custody. He hasn't seen the child in 10 days. And when we were negotiating parenting time for the holidays, he was wanting equal parenting time. And the most that they could give us were 3 chunks of 24 hours. Obviously, you know, Ms. Steele's position is that that's what the norm is right now. So why wouldn't we continue doing that? The only reason it's the norm is because Mr. Peters was so desperate to have any time with his child over the Christmas holidays that he accepted what he could get. So he's asking for something a lot closer to a 50-50 arrangement. Ideally, he would like week on, week off. Again, he hasn't seen the minor child in 10 days. And so we want to be able to recoup some of that time. We do have the status conference next week. I don't know if J.O. Powell is going to be inclined to do anything about temporary parenting time at that juncture, but I don't know how successful our negotiations are going to be between counsel to get something that is fair to my client.
And Your Honor, I'll note, I don't know that there's authority unless we go forward with the protective order hearing to enter any sort of parenting plan, because I think under the law, there's a requirement that a protective order be found before this court could make such ruling. And our position is not that it has become the status quo just because that's what they've been doing since the separation. He's 16 months old. And in that 16 months of his life,
some interaction and some seeing, because this is really the bonding time.
Yes, Your Honor. And part of that issue is that there is very significant travel that has been out of state throughout this child's life. And so, I mean, I believe what I had learned is that on average, since relocating to Georgia, father had only spent about 8 days a month within the state of Georgia. And so that's been a significant barrier to the parenting time, which is why they've been doing 24-hour blocks. I'll note that over the last 10 days, the reason there hasn't been parenting time is because it wasn't asked for directly to my client. And my understanding is that counsel was trying to work on some family matters, and otherwise it was lead counsel who was working through those issues. But I understand that that's something counsel hadn't been able to work through because when counsel was in communication, there was agreements for specific parenting time. And noting, we agree that there is a status conference coming up 1 week from now. And so we're generally talking about a week's worth of parenting time where we can continue to talk about these things. And again, the discussion of getting the guardian ad litem involved so that the guardian ad litem can touch base once she's been able to provide some more thought here. And so again, what they've done in the past is, you know, have the child for these 24-hour blocks and then allow some additional FaceTime contact in that time. Although, of course, that gets a little bit more complicated on the insistence of a protective order versus the temporary order that could be entered in a divorce case if there was able to get some kind of an agreement on that perspective. The last, but I'll say kind of sticker or issue on this is that we've got a 16-month-old child who's sick this particular week. I mean, he's got a cold that he's dealing with, and we've got a father who has not historically gone to pediatrician appointments or otherwise been involved in medical treatment for the child. And so since we are just talking about this short 1 week period, that's a factor that I would think that we would consider. And so what we would believe, and again, I don't know how much authority there really is to enter this order unless we did a full protective order hearing. And there was a finding that there has been some act of family violence that has occurred that would be substantial to enter this order, would be to do a visit from 11 a.m. Saturday to 11 a.m. on Sunday, with the parties exchanging at the fire station in Roswell, where I believe they have done at least one exchange in the past. And so doing an 11 a.m. Saturday to 11 a.m. Sunday, with the commitment from both sides that counsel will continue to talk about a schedule up and until the next temporary status conference a week from today, and or request the court make some kind of ability to hear that issue at the next status conference.
So, child's sick. I mean, I don't want to keep a child from mom or dad, either of them. I know you got something in a week, and Ms. White, you know, is going to get involved. Hopefully, you know, she sends me the order, and I can sign it, and she can go ahead and get started. But
And she,
Job
Your Honor,
well.
just for reference, she's moving offices, I guess, today. So she's working on getting that over to us for everyone to look at. She's just not on email today.
Okay, and also don't want to bring this baby out if the baby's sick, so.
I can speak from experience. I know 16 months old is more in the gray area, but sick this time of year and
Right.
with what's been going on with RSV this past year is absolutely terrifying. And
Right.
so
Your Honor,
that's
my client has participated in the child's medical care. Was he at every single pediatrician appointment up until this date? No, but he has participated in his medical care and has taken care of him when he has been ill in the past. He's a grown man, he knows how to take care of children, and he's fully competent to make sure that Henry doesn't get any more ill from this, what I've been told is a cold right now.
So, all right, this is their first child?
Yes.
yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. All right, so that means neither of them had any experience until they had this kid. And, you know, very much so, both, you know, some moms don't do a lot of the stuff. I mean, I know plenty of moms that don't necessarily have that strong maternal instinct, nothing wrong with that. And the dads end up kind of being that maternalistic, taking off. So it doesn't matter, but dad's got to learn if he doesn't know. But it's a week. So what they need, you know, if the child has a fever, then the baby doesn't need to go anywhere. And so at 16 months, FaceTime's not going to do any good because it's going to watch. Does the baby have a fever?
I can have my client speak to more specifics about it. But again, I think right now it's just a cold. I don't know how much that involves, like still having to do the nasal suction, all of those particularly fun activities that kids really love. But again, that's why, you know, we're saying do what they've, you know, been doing and have the time from Saturday at 11 until Sunday at 11. And then they can discuss this more and we can work on this more when we get to the hearing in the divorce case where it's procedurally proper to do so.
Why don't we at least let him? I mean, I don't know.
We also don't know what his work or travel schedule is over the next week. And again, he's done some very extensive travel throughout the history of their marriage and throughout this child's life.
What is his availability, Ms. Willis? Do you know?
He's available in Georgia for the next week.
For next week. Okay, so what is his work? I mean, does he work home?
He has a very flexible work schedule. He does work from home. So that's not a problem at all for the child. He's requesting, my request that I made to opposing counsel was either for an entire week's worth of time, which I know is probably, you know, a little far flung, but if not that, then to have Thursday night through Sunday this weekend.
And this is a child who's never gone more than 24 hours without being with his mom at 16 months old.
That's not accurate. In fact, in the first weekend of December, Ms. Peters went on a work trip and left the child with my client. Yes, the nanny did come with him, and I believe that her parents also visited the child during that time, but she was away for an entire weekend from the minor child as recently as December.
I stand corrected, and my client has sent me a note. 3 days in 16 months, other than the additional 3 days that was agreed upon that he would have the visitation after he decided to leave the marital residence.
So, I mean, why don't we at least do, I don't know, where is mom right now? Where is mom?
Hi, Judge, I'm here. I cannot turn on my video once again.
She sent me a text. There's like an error that pops up.
All right. Hi, Judge.
Hey, how is the child doing now? I mean,
he's got this runny nose. We're using the boogie wipes to get it out. I've been using the lovely nasal suction with my mouth that he does not like very much. And we've been giving him some Motrin. I'm about to take his temperature. He's just like more cranky than usual. My mom's a nurse, and so I have her assistance, and she's here with me.
Okay. So, I mean, I want dad to see him because I'm not gonna, you know, what about?
Of course. I think that's he needs to see his dad. That's why we were hoping he could go for that period of time and then, you know, come back.
So you want all day Saturday to Sunday?
We're doing Saturday 11 a.m. until Sunday at 11 a.m. So a whole 24-hour period.
So for this 1 week, why don't we at least do, what's today? Wednesday. Why don't we just do that while the child's sick? And strictly while the child is sick, okay?
Got it.
Because you're gonna go to a status conference and and our only concern is because he's sick. I don't want, him out and about and all that, but whatever medicine there is, you can just, pack it and whatever you give to Mr. Peters and he can take care of that. Does that sound good?
That works, Judge.
Is that okay, Ms. Steele? And like I said, you can put it, it's honestly only because the child has a cold, then maybe he can do the boogie sucking thing or whatever. I don't know if I would like that either, but if dad doesn't know how to do the boogie sucking thing, dad, you need to practice. Probably not fun.
Kind of a second, Your Honor, this is Halton Peters. My video also won't come on, but I've cared for my son many times.
Okay, I just learn how to do the boogie. Just learn how to do the boogie sucking. Learn how to do the thing. That's it. Just say okay. 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 That's all I want to know. There you go. That's all I want to know. I didn't. Whatever else needs to be done. That's it. I'm sure you've taken care of. I don't want to interrupt you, but I didn't want to get something started that doesn't need to be started. So where can he pick the child up? This fire station, same place?
Yes, I guess they've done an exchange at the fire station at 39 Hill Street in Roswell.
Is that good, Mr. Peters?
That's not a fire station. I don't believe.
That's the police station, I believe. The fire station, I believe, is at 1400 Old Alabama Road, Roswell.
We were just going with the address that you. Whether it's a police or fire station, that's worked in the past,
Peters?
in the future.
Fire station or the police station?
My client would prefer the fire station.
Okay.
I would
That's-
prefer the police station because police.
Is there parking near that department? That's really what I worry about.
It-
There's parking. All right, you guys exchange there. Mr. Peters, please know I'm not trying to keep you from your child saying you don't know how, but trust me, I've got an amazing dad, so I'm sure you're an amazing dad. So just because the child is sick, okay? That's the only reason, because this little boy is sick. This Saturday, does that work for you? That Saturday, or is it Friday better? Which is better? Mr. Peters?
If it were up to me, I would see him today, Your Honor. I think that.
How long has it been since you've not seen him?
I turned him over to Candace on the morning of January 1st, and
Been about 10 days then, right?
and I've wanted to see him. And by the way, you know what Ms. Willis, my attorney, said is correct. I think that at every step in this process, I've been asking for more and more time, and at some point, and I think that what's happening now is very much a continuation of what I think is
Right. So I'm not wanting it to like go out of control. That's why I'm kind of, so why don't we let him see him one time, even if it's for a 4 or 6 hour period before Saturday, just so he can, Thursday, Wednesday, how about tomorrow for at least 4 hours? Let him just see him since it's been 10 or 11 days. How about that? Like a 4 hour time frame, even if it's so what's a good time? Peters, you work, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, I work, but I'm off tomorrow and Friday. So
Okay, so how about Thursday, Ms. Steele and Ms. Willis, let Mr. Peters get him for at least like 4 hours.
Okay.
And then, he has the Saturday, and then hopefully, then Ms. White will probably send both of you a questionnaire, just fill it out and get it back to her as soon as you can.
I mean, as I had noted, Your Honor, he hadn't asked for the time over the last 10 days. And so that's why there had been this period. So I just sort of wanted to put that out for the record, even though we're not getting any of this taken down. But we can try to coordinate as far as times and all of those things. But yeah, nap time and all the times for the child's schedule tend to be in flux when they're sick.
Right. So that's what I said. I mean, we got to use a little common sense, but I like to look at them as parents, not necessarily moms or dads, but both of you are just a parent. And both parents, especially at this time, you know, need to be able to, what is it, every 3 or 4 days, I think it says you're supposed to have some sort of facial contact or some sort of, what is it? We've had experts before. I think it's every 3 or 4 days you're supposed to interact with the child at this bonding time. So, but anyway, and we can put, this is because they're sick. Do y'all want to wait 60 days or do you want to wait 30 days? If we wait 60, it'd give Ms. White time to make a report, but you'll go to your status conference and have time to work on something in between. But I do want Mr. Peters to have time. So work on that for the status conference and let Ms. White do it. Do y'all want a 30 or 60 days to come back?
I would suggest 60, Your Honor.
Ms. Delabrato, and like I said, if something happens, y'all can come back sooner. Just email me.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I would sort of ask we do the inverse and set for 30. And if we don't think we can get it done at 30, to ask to be moved to 60, because again, we're still of the position that there isn't really. And so I would ask that we set it for 30 to make sure we're staying motivated on this issue, just because of the additional pieces that come along with the protective order as far as limiting any kind of contact between the parties and that sort of thing.
So Ms. Delabrato, I guess that'll be what, Friday the 10th on February? You can stay on Judge Cooper's calendar, or that's my calendar. Judge Cooper's calendar would be. Is he going to have a calendar on the 8th, Ms. Delabrato? She leave too. Does the 10th work for both of you? Friday the 10th.
It does.
Mr. Peters, you're going to be able to do the 10th, Friday the 10th, February? Yes, Ms. Steele?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you folks want like 2 o'clock or what time?
I'm available the whole day.
2 seconds. I'm also available the whole day.
Both of you, Mr. and Ms. Peters?
Yes, I'm absolutely available.
All right, let's see, we got what? 9:30, 11, 12:30, and 2.
Is there one that's less full?
Probably 2 p.m. is probably the least full right now.
Okay.
So it'll be 2 p.m. and it'll be via Zoom.
Okay.
And you'll probably get that Zoom link from Ms. Ms. Free, because that'll be my calendar. If both lawyers, I think you both entered into your appearance. Me the order, I will sign it, the continuation order. We can do
Yes,
the
Your Honor.
reset notice. If y'all just want to put the schedule and things like that as like an exhibit A, we'll do the continuation notice and then say, see this exhibit A for any like exchanges of the child and things like that.
I've got a draft started because we included those terms about the Our Family Wizard.
Right.
And so I'll share that with opposing counsel and we'll work to get that finalized. And just to be clear, messages from Family Wizard are not considered any sort of violation of the protective order, as I
Right.
understand, especially if they're generated by Family Wizard and all of those pieces. So they'll get that set up so that they can have communication relative to the child through the
Right.
wizard on an interim basis.
And y'all share it with Ms. White, anything on Our Family Wizard, because she'll look at that. So that way she'll see the communication that's going on in Our Family Wizard.
That's right.
Anything else? So y'all just work out a time for Thursday so that Mr. Peters, and then I'm not sure, Ms. Delabrato, I think we're going to reset this one for me to do some follow-up for February the 10th at 2 p.m. And they could email, and if you email, folks, email Ms. Free, or I mean, if you email Ms. Delabrato, she can forward it to Ms. Free, so that if you need more time, if Ms. White needs more time, then we can push it out a little bit. And they're going to send an order for Ms. Tori White to be a guardian, and I'll do it in this and in the divorce case. That way she can come back and report anything she finds here.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm sorry, Judge, was there a time or just
2 p.m. Just doing it at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.? Okay.
Right. And did you get the email from Mr. Muhammad?
Yes, I did. I forwarded.
Okay.
Yes, man. I was just about to ask about that. Thank you.
All right. All right. Do folks need anything else, Mr. and Ms. Peters?
I don't think so. Hallie, just so I can send you the draft, does like 12:30 to 4:30 work for Thursday?
Mr. Peters, does that work for you?
Yes.
Yes. That's good. Thank you.
Okay. All right, I'll send that over to you, and then once we circulate it through council, we'll send it to you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Absolutely. And Ms. Peters, whatever he's taking as far as being, oh, they're going to put it in there, Ms. Alvarado. They're going to do like the exhibit. So whatever he's taking, Ms. Peters, either let Mr. Peters know and he can have the medicine or send it back and forth. So we make sure that this little boy gets whatever he needs to get better so he doesn't get that RSD like the Steele's child had.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Peters, like I said, she's going to put in there, this in no way reflects any time you shouldn't or shouldn't get. It's just because this child is sick. That's why it's this little, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And I'm going to say, either of you are bad parents. That's not, this child is the most important thing out there, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And y'all just email me back and let me know if it comes close and you don't need it, but Ms. White will reach out to you and she's an excellent guardian. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Y'all have a good week. Oh, enjoy your holiday weekend.
You too, Judge.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Mohammed, let me see if I can see this email real quick. Ms.
Yes,
Delba
ma'am.
sent it to me. Hold on. Well, I got a couple of screens here and figure out what screen my email's open on.
No problem. I might have sent it twice, but nonetheless, it should be there.
So with this anger management, is that you've started it or is that, oh, you've completed it?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's see that. Ms. Delbrado, if you look at it, is this everything that Judge Cooper ordered? Oh, you're on mute, Ms. Delbrado.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, Judge Cooper ordered the drug and alcohol and the
Anger management.
and for him to continue his counseling.
Okay. All right, Mr. Mohammed, it looks like you're in compliance. Does he need another compliance hearing with no? All
No.
right. Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Keep up with your work.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
All right, got Ms. Clark and Ms. Glenn.
Here, Your Honor.
All right, both of y'all raise your right hands. Y'all swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Is.
Okay. All right, everybody, let's not talk over each other. Ms. Clark, start from the beginning. So, like, I need specifics, this date and time and what happened, or at least the approximate date. If you can't remember if it was December 1st, December the 3rd, just put the beginning of December, and then you got to tell me specifically what was done. Okay. Thank you for being so patient. Go ahead.
All right, Your Honor. The most recent situation that I had was the last time we was in court. Ms. Glenn shared information of mine that I know for a fact that she had someone go into the government system to inform her of that information. In another proceeding dealing with that matter, because the young lady was fired due to the investigation. We started this case due to Ms. Glenn having my daughter jumped on back in, I want to say September or October, Your Honor. I got video footage and everything. Only thing Ms. Glenn requested from the judge was that my kids don't be in her house. As of then, my kids have not been in contact with their father, so they have not been in her car. They have not been in her home. It have been quiet besides that situation with Ms. Glenn having a young lady tap into the government system to tell her where I work. I recommend that you keep my restraining order going because I am in fear of my life because Ms. Glenn seems to have it out for me and my children. So, yeah.
So it's been that one situation. So tell me about it, Ms. Glenn. Why was there, what happened there?
After you denied it, and Drina went down there again, saying that I had her daughter jump, which is a lie. Okay, I asked the judge, can he just stop her for saying, because I told the judge when her kids speak to me, she whooped them for, speaking to me, saying don't speak to me while they with her. And when they come over here, she called and be like, okay, I'm just making sure you ain't left them with her. Oh, I don't want them around her. So I asked the judge, if she don't want her kids around me, can you just tell her to stop sending them over here? If that's her problem, because I don't mind them, her kids, you don't want them speaking to me, you don't want them around me, cool, keep them away from around me and not my car. The judge said, okay, keep out for contact. I can show you a DM after we left court. A girl DM me asking me, did I say in court that, and she told me Andrina information, which is a lie. I don't know what Andrina work at. I don't know nothing about Andrina. Andrina taught me what you know. Can you share my screen where I can show you when the girl asked me, did I say something about her in court? Can you share it? Go to my screen. I have it right here. Andrina making this up.
Well, you have to share the screen. I can't share it. You have to do it.
Okay, how do I say it?
There's a part that says share screen. It should be at the bottom. I don't know. You're on a phone. There should be something that says share screen.
Your Honor, can I speak?
No, hold on. Let me share. Is it sharing now?
No, you have to click on the three dots on the bottom of your screen there on the right-hand side, I believe. And you should see your screen. If you don't see it at the beginning, click on more options.
I got show content screen. Okay. Zoom start broadcast. Is it showing?
It says sharing your screen, but I don't know what it doesn't.
You are
sharing your screen. You got to
now we can see it.
This what the girl asked me. She said, you told Andrina I gave you her information. What information? I got fired.
Who is this text between?
This text is from a girl, Andrina, and her
The young lady who gave her my information was fired.
Stand by. Who is this text is between you, Miss Glenn, and who?
This between me and this girl named Brianna.
Okay, so I can't consider this though, because that person's not here. So you can take that down.
This after is my, can you start sharing my screen now? How I start sharing my screen?
You kind of got to do it.
Okay, hold on.
All right, you stop.
Okay. Andrina making this up. I never said nothing in court about I know what she work at. What she saying, that's a lie. Andrina did that after the fact that we left court. Andrina doing this to have everybody messed up. The girl who wrote me, she have a baby by our kid's father friend. Also, Andrina friend have her baby by him too. Her and Andrina both harass us because we still with our kid's father. I don't talk to this to her or nothing like that. I only see her if we all come around. We speak and then see, I don't know her phone number. I gave her my number when she wrote me on Instagram because this is a lie, which the girl said is a lie. She don't know nothing about Andrina. Andrina did that on her own. What Andrina doing is trying to have everybody messed up, put out, and locked up, all because we still with our kid's father. But that girl, Brianna, I don't know her like that. I just know that's she got a baby by the friend. And after you denied it, Andrina,
Your Honor.
And after you did it, Andrina constantly keep coming down here. She came down here on my sister. She did it because she said, just because that's my sister. She had her mama to come down here on me and everything. Andrina just keep bothering me. It's a new year. I don't have time for these.
Your Honor.
And Andrina making it up. I don't know nothing about Andrina.
Your Honor, the young lady was fired due to my my file through the government were investigated. And they said they would be able to tell if this young lady even looked into my file without my permission, because no need for you to be looking in my food stamp file, letting Miss Glenn know from the last time we was in proceedings. Time worker, and she was a full-time mom, her exact words. That there had, because Your Honor, I live a private life. I don't be on social media I don't hang around groups of people, groups of girls. So when she shared that information, and I knew this same young lady had harassed a friend of mine who she's talking about has a kid, has harassed my friend food stamp case and had her food stamps taken off. They was put back on. So when I called and had my file investigated, it came out that that lady has been in my file, in my record, and they dismissed her. They fired her. So that's why she reached out to Ms. Glenn, because I informed them that important information of mine was shared in my last.
This is all about the two of you. From what it sounds like Judge Cooper needs to hear from you guys because he has more about what's going on.
No,
Exactly.
he didn't listen at you listen.
Exactly. That's why he kept it going on, Your Honor. He wanted to keep it going on. And he told me if there's anything else to let it be known at the next court proceeding. I must say that's the only thing that had happened since then. My children have not been in her car. My kids have not had contact with their father. It's been great. But that's the only thing that
I'm not trying to keep these kids from having contact with their father, but I guess the father is with Miss Glenn.
Yes, and I'm okay with that. I'll raise my kids alone. I don't want to put them on child support, nothing. I'm okay.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead, Miss Glenn.
When we went to court, what Andrina saying wasn't none of that presented at court. Andrina didn't call that girl job until after we left court. I didn't say that.
Is not part of this. This is the two of you.
Okay, but Andrina is making all this up. She just told the judge that her boyfriend allowed our kid's father to come over there. I said, if that's the case, cool. He can go over there and watch them. Just leave me alone. Andrina making it so this the only way Andrina could get my attention is coming to court. They say when they can't beat you or bully you, they put the police on you. And this was going on. I'm 5'2". Andrina 6'2", 6'3". Leave me alone.
I don't want to have to fight. I don't want to have to.
And I know she work a part-time job because she never at work. She harassed this man thinking she bothering me. I'm a full-time mom. I take care of my kids. What he do for my kids is extra. You trying to make me mad, you only hurt yourself.
How am I harassing him if he's not taking care of my kids?
Okay, so here's the thing so there are times when young ladies can have children, they got half siblings, and there are times when men are with somebody and they got children from different women. I mean, the situation is back and forth. So at no point in time should it become a big issue between the two ladies that when you got with them, and he done
had several kids on her, but she bothered me because me and him.
My kids are older. I don't have to harass nobody.
No matter what, these kids, ladies.
I'm in a new relationship.
I mean, y'all don't have to get along. Y'all don't have to like each other. Exactly. And if there's a problem and some drama going on, it's like the women get mad at one another, but is it something?
Your Honor, she had my daughter jumped on. I don't want my daughter around her. She had my.
I already shared that. Okay, you say somebody told you that. Adrian, you say somebody told you I made a post that. I never said that.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Let's see.
She want to keep you on the same video. I don't even know the little girl who beat up the little girl.
Of her on social media bragging about having my daughter jumped on.
All right, we're gonna give y'all a little bit longer break apart. What's this?
Your Honor,
it's a new year. That she saw me like I told you.
So
here go Miss Glenn on social media stating that the little girl that jumped on my daughter understood the assignment. Here we go again. She saying, I'm so glad my daughter know how to fight. I never had to worry about nothing. Win, lose, draw. Her daughter is gonna step. All because of this video Miss Glenn had of this young lady. This is my daughter on the ground, Your Honor. Miss Glenn has set this up for my daughter to be hurt, and no one have done nothing for my little girl, not even her own dad, standing with my little girl in this situation.
All right, so here's what
I'm handling it the best way I can by coming to court.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna extend this until May.
Thank you.
This taking time out my day. My
job. Time. It'll expire in May. May the 13th.
May 10th.
May 10th.
Excuse me.
It'll expire on May 10th. All right. We'll email it. We got everybody's email address.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, go
Yes,
ahead and
Your
leave.
Honor.
Okay, y'all go ahead and leave. We'll send you copies of the order. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And I'm not sure if the respondent for number 3 at 11 is the one in the waiting room.
All right, Ms. Horn, you got to turn on your camera. Well, before it had his name.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's him. All right, Ms. Horn, you're still wanting to go forward?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Mr. Is that a minor child?
That's my child.
Okay, can she get?
Okay.
All right. All right, both of you raise your right hands. Do y'all swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you both for being patient. Ms. Horn, you still want to go forward, so start with the most recent event and work backwards as to why you want this TPO. Once again, like before, you've probably been sitting here, so you've heard me, right? You gotta be specific, like January this happened, okay? And tell me what happened and just work backwards.
Okay, last year on December, well, he gets her the first, third, and fifth weekend. It's a court order. So she came home on the 5th, which is Monday. She was like, mommy. She started crying. He beat me. I said, okay, sweetie, what happened? He beat my wrist with a belt. I said, okay, explain yourself. She was like, he was mad anyway. And then I was on the phone when I didn't supposed to be on the phone. I said, okay. So she said he beat her with the belt. And then 5 minutes later, left, dragged her again, I guess, across the bed and broke her bra strap, had all his weight on her, punching her and smacking her and said, I will kill you. He was very violent. So I'm scared for my daughter. And I also have pictures of the bruises of her face and her arm. And I can share my screen to show you that. And one more thing, Your Honor, I had came to you guys' court on February the 11th and got him served because he was mentally ugly. If I was in school, kids would pick at you and things like that. So I have a picture of that too, but he went out of country, so they couldn't serve him.
All right, so what happened in December?
In December, that's what I was saying. She came home with bruises on her face and her arms.
That it happened in December because you filed this December the 13th. So what happened prior to that?
What happened was when he dropped her off, I didn't have transportation, so I reported it online and I couldn't do it online. So I went on Wednesday. And when I went on Wednesday, I went to the police report, they took pictures. And then that same day, I came to you guys' courthouse and got the protective order.
All right. And what had happened prior to that? Anything else?
Nothing else happened. Oh, one more thing. After this happened, I contacted school because, you know, he can pick her up from school and let them know what happened. They got in contact with DFACS. DFACS came to my house, spoke to Ariana, and they also gave me a around her because it's under investigation. So I'm just scared for my daughter. I'm just trying to, you know, be a mother, and she's just go over there. And then after this happened, she been having dreams. It stopped. She had a dream 5 days straight saying, he's going to kill me. He's going to hurt me. I told her it's going to be okay. She's just super scared.
Has any other violence happened before that? November?
Well, I think this is his first time whipping her. I think this is his first time this happened, but she did complain that, you know, he thinks I'm ugly. He doesn't like my hair. He always tells me to change my hair. And she has low self-esteem because of that.
So the two of you married or?
No, we was never married. We was just in a relationship.
Okay. Sir, have you legitimated your child?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
All right. So there's a parenting plan, visitation, and things of that nature.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
And the reason why I kept home from school is because she said she wanted to talk to the judge because she was, she's the victim. She wanted to explain her side, That's why I had her right there sitting next to me.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Yee, I'll hear from you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I actually wanted to request more time to seek counsel because these allegations that are presented again in front of the court here. So the first court date I got was, I was literally served a couple hours before, so I had no time for preparation, and then we just finished the holiday season here. So I'm just requesting time to seek counsel. While that isn't, if that's allowed, I would like to have supervised visit at my parents' house because there's a child, my son, they're very connected, have a very tight relationship. Years old, Your Honor.
Okay.
And he looks up to Ariana is his hero.
Sure.
And he's, I'm sorry.
The two of your son and the girl, they can FaceTime. I mean, they can.
Your Honor,
the two kids, yeah.
Can I say something? Ariana does love her brother. He could come over here if that's okay with the child's mother, because she does miss her brother and she loves him, but I don't want Ariana nowhere near Jermaine.
Okay, so here's the thing, is that we can grant you a continuance. Mr. Alvarado will give you Judge Cooper's next date, but it's still in place. But your son can always reach out and FaceTime, and if, like I said, his mom and you want,
She doesn't co-parent, Your Honor. This is probably the second conversation I've had with her in 10 years. She actually told Judge Mason that she will not talk to me. So there is zero co-parenting in 10 years. This has been a bitter drama the whole 10 years.
Give him one more, Mr. Alvarado. So here's the thing. I'm just talking about your son and Ariana.
I understand, Your Honor, but she won't do it.
Who won't do what?
Victoria Horn, she won't facilitate that, what you're saying. She's just saying that in your face, but she won't facilitate. They don't talk.
She just said that the boy could come over there and see his
I understand that, Your Honor. She said that before in the past, Judge Mason, and that has never happened. She has no communication with my son's mother. There's no communication whatsoever with Victoria.
Stop. See, here's a couple of adults, 3, 4, 5, however many adults getting in the way, and these two people who are siblings, half siblings, whatever, and these two siblings can't see each other. So you're gonna say she's not gonna let it go, she's gonna see you. So y'all need to, because when it all comes down to it, that's who they're gonna have, beyond when y'all are there. So Ms. Horn, reach out to whomever, or if she's supposed to be with you, sir, then let him go over there and see his sister for a few hours while, that's fine. But y'all can work this out. What's the date, Ms. Delbrado, so Judge Cooper can continue?
This will be January 25th at 11 a.m.
All right. They'll send you the Zoom link. This is your last reset, though. I'm just filling in.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
So, but Ms. Horn, who does she need to reach out to? That his mother?
I definitely would reach out to the child's mother. I never spoke to her, I never met her. But for the kids, I would definitely reach out, and I would have contact with mom. If the mom want the baby to come over here, that's fine.
Do you know how to get in touch with her?
Well, Ariana got her number.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, then we'll make that happen.
Okay.
So you reach out to her, and if it makes it out, then that's fine.
Okay. So, Your Honor, can we keep the protective order going?
Oh, it's still going to be in place until then.
Okay.
All right. So, and I think we got everybody's email address. So we will we'll go ahead and continue this.
Okay.
I'll get the date and the Zoom link for the 25th.
Okay.
Yeah. Have a nice weekend.
All right. Thank you both. Looks like Ms. Delbrado, that is it. Send the email. The other, where'd they go? There was someone in the chat, but they left.
Shoot.
No, I believe that was it for right now.
The candidate was in the waiting room, but they left.